Prime and composite. Determining whether numbers are prime or composite. Let's think about this. When determining if a number is prime or composite, you have to think about the factors. What do you currently know about factors? How do you solve for factors? What do you use to check your work? Let's look at the equation 1 times 7 equals 7. What are the factors in this equation? Well, the factors are the 1 and the 7. How do you know? Well, they're the numbers being multiplied. And now let's think about the equation 1 times 5 equals 5. What are the factors of this equation? Well, it's 1 and 5. How do you know? Again, they are the numbers that are being multiplied. Numbers that only have two factors, one in itself, are called prime numbers. 5 and 7 are two examples of prime numbers. Again, that is because the only factors of 5 are 1 and 5, and the only factors of 7 are 1 and 7. Again, in general, numbers that only have two factors, 1 and itself, are called prime numbers. Try to create a list of at least two other prime numbers. Remember that a prime number only has 1 and itself as factors. There are many answers to this question. Other numbers that satisfy it are 2, because the only factors of 2 are 1 and itself. 3 is another, because the only factors of 3 are 1 and 3. We know 5 and 7 are factors. 11 is also a prime number because its only factors are 1 and itself. These are just a few. There are many answers. As long as the only two factors of the number are 1 in itself, it is indeed a prime number. Numbers with more than two factors are called composite numbers. Let's look at the number 8. The factor pairs of 8 are 1 and 8 and 2 and 4. We can see that 8 is a composite number because it has more than 1 in itself as factors. There are 4 factors of 8 instead of just 2. The factor pair 2 and 4 help to make it a composite number. Try this question. Is the number 45 a prime or a composite number? Try creating a visual representation of why or why not. Examples could be with arrays, factor trees, or factor rainbows to show work. So let's actually take a look at the number 45. We obviously know that 1 and 45 are 2 of its factors. But what are some other factors of 45? Well, it ends in a 5, so I know 5 is a factor. How many times does 5 go into 45? It goes in 9 times. So we could write 45 as 5 times 9. And then we could also rewrite this as 5 times 3 times 3. And then we can group the first 3 with this 5 instead of with the second 3 and have it be 5 times 3 times 3, which is 15 times 3. And since 45 has 6 factors instead of only 2, it is clearly a composite number. Let's try to sort our numbers as prime or composite numbers. Let's just start from the bottom and work our way up. Well, 2, the only factors of 2 are 1 and itself, so it is considered to be prime. 3 is similar. Its only factors are 1 and 3. 4 is divisible by 1 itself and 2, and the extra factor of 2 makes it a composite number. 5, the only factors are 1 and 5, so it is a prime number. 6 is an even number, so it is divisible by 2. And 2 times 3 is 6, so the extra factors of 2 and 3 make 6 a composite number. 7 is considered to be prime, since its only factors are 1 in itself. 8 is a composite number because it's also divisible by 2 and 4, in addition to 1 in itself. Now you might have started to see a pattern here, at least with 3, 5, 7 versus 4, 6, and 8. Those are all odd numbers. These are all even, because even numbers are always divisible by 2. So 9, is this one prime or composite? Well, yes, 9 is divisible by 1 in itself, but it's also divisible by 3, since 3 times 3 is 9. So it is considered to be composite. 10 is divisible by 2, since it's an even number. 2 times 5 is 10, so it's composite. 11 is only divisible by 1 in itself, making it a prime number. 12 is an even number, so it's divisible by 2 also. It is also divisible by 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and itself. 13 is a prime number, because its only factors are 1 in itself. 14 is a composite number because it's divisible by 2 and 7 in addition to 1 in itself. 15 is also a composite number because 3 and 5 go into 15 aside from 1 in itself. 16 is a composite number. Its factors are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. 17 is a prime number since it's only divisible by 1 in itself. 18 is composite because it's divisible by more than 1 in itself. It's divisible also by 2, 3, 6, and 9. 19 is prime because it's only divisible by 1 in itself. And 20 is composite because it's divisible by 2, 4, 5, and 10 in addition to 1 and itself. There are a few exceptions to prime and composite numbers. There are 2 actually that are not prime and they're not composite. And those 2 numbers are 0 and 1. 0 is not classified by these terms because no matter what number you multiply it by, it is always 0. Therefore, 0 is neither prime nor composite. 1 is also not classified by these terms because mathematicians have agreed, since 1 only contains 1 factor, itself, it is not considered to be prime. Recall that prime numbers have exactly 2 factors, 1 and itself. Since the only factor of 1 is 1, it is neither prime nor composite.